Commission meeting to order for Monday, April 25th, 2022 at 8 o'clock a.m. Item number 2 is a roll call. I'll start. Baker,
Beck here.
Baining.
and
Kowski here.
Commissioner Benkowski is coming in by phone, and Commissioner Giordano was excused. Also present are Police Chief Jason Lobby, Interim Fire Chief Mark Kane, and Town Administrator Jamie Gabbard. Item number 3 is to certify the posting of the meeting. Greg?
I posted the meeting April 22nd, 2022, Daily Tribune 1112, which Jamie did. Rome Town Hall, Police, and Rome Fire at 11:05, 11:17 at Leicester Library, 11:21 at Nakusa Port Edward State Bank.
Thank you. Item number 4 is to approve the agenda. Is there a motion?
Pat will make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Motion by Pat, second by Greg to approve the agenda. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 5 is the citizen comment portion of the agenda. We do not have any citizens present in the audience, so we'll move on. And at this point, I would like to make a motion that we move right to item 7 and continue from there. Since this is not a regular business meeting where the police chief or the fire chief would have reports, I would just make a motion to skip their 2 items on the agenda, move to item number 7.
Is that number 5 that you're making that motion?
No, number 6.
Number 6, okay. I'll second.
That motion.
Okay, motion by Baker, second by Bob to skip item number 6 on the agenda, move to item number 7. Any other discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Excuse me. Item number 7 is the approval of the April 11th, 2022 meeting minutes. Everybody should have a copy of them. Bob, I think maybe you got yours emailed.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay,
I will move to approve as presented.
thank you, Bob.
Pat a second.
Motion by Bob, second by Pat to approve the minutes from April 11th, 2022. Is there any further discussion? The only thing that I wanted to correct, and it's no fault of Greg's, is just to make it in the members present or roll call area, to make it town board member-elect Lori Giamatti rather than,
Is that now, I thought I corrected.
at that time, she was not
Correct.
sworn in as a town board supervisor, so she was town board elect, so.
It was corrected.
Yeah, okay, and make that notation. Anything other for discussion on the minutes? Hearing nothing, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 8 is discussion of possible action on the advertisement, or it should be recruitment plan for the fire chief position. Jamie, we want to start with you. You want to give us a little background here, or?
Sure.
Okay, well, you had met with or the town board had met this past Thursday to,
Tuesday. You met on Tuesday.
Tuesday to finalize what their job description and requirements would be.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I think a copy was distributed to the committee this morning.
Yes.
Okay. So now that that's approved, it would be up to the police and fire committee to determine how you wanted to handle recruitment, and would put together a timeline. And then I will assist on whatever items you would need assistance with. I would say with previous recruitments for department heads, we usually have it open for 3 weeks. That's kind of been our past practice. That's not a written policy, wouldn't have to be 3 weeks, but we've usually left them open for 3 weeks. And we've done a series of recruitment through Indeed and then channels that are related to that specific position.
Okay,
I can't see any reason that we would deviate from that. You said Indeed, and do we know how many different places we're gonna post?
No.
Do we have to come up with that?
I would think that there would be places that would be specific to the position, yes, that you would want it posted.
Okay.
and, well, either Greg or Mark, maybe you guys know, is there like a state fire site or someplace that State Fire Chiefs Association, or,
Wisconsin State Fire Chiefs Association does have a website, and there's commonly posts for open positions there.
I don't know of any other than that.
okay, not knowing how widespread our distribution of the advertisement might be, or the recruitment plan, are we gonna put it in the Tribune as well?
So, totally your decision.
Oh.
I haven't for the last several because it's very expensive,
Expensive.
and it doesn't produce the same amount of results as online Indeed does. You could also go, when you go through Indeed, you could pay per application. So, last time I did it, it was $35 per application that you accepted, and you have 48 hours to accept the application for someone that's applied.
And do all those applications then come online to you, or?
It can come online to you if you prefer. I mean, we just put it so it goes to your email address.
Okay,
But you, Indeed otherwise is free. You can set it up so you would pay, but that would be your choice. But we haven't done, Tribune is like $700-800.
oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's kinda crazy.
Now, what's the difference? You said Indeed is free, but you can pay. If we pay, do we get, is it better?
If you pay, the benefit is that they try to solicit more for your position. Yes, same thing with like a sponsored ad on Facebook. The other benefit to that is that you have 48 hours to accept the application. So if someone would apply and let's say they don't have any relevant skills, you reject it and you don't pay. And if they do, then you accept it and you pay the $35, and then it's just billed on a per application basis.
So every application, you pay $35 if they're qualified.
Yep. It might be slightly different, but last time I did it, it was $35 on the application.
You said something about on Facebook also. Do we really want to go there?
I wasn't suggesting
Oh.
Facebook, it's just a similar algorithm.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you have, Mark, have any knowledge as to if there's, on the Fire Chiefs State Association website, if there's a charge to post anything on there or not?
I am not aware of any, but I've never investigated it.
And we're a member, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So oftentimes if you're a member organization, then they don't charge and then they have it as a benefit of membership.
Jason, you got any thoughts, or
Well,
other ideas?
The first thought I have, I think this needs to go back to town board, because just sitting here thinking about it, if your intention is to advertise to the public, I don't believe a salary range has been set, and if you post on Indeed, you'll end up with 100 applications, and when you say the salary's X, Y, Z, you're gonna waste a lot of your time if you don't have a set salary range that you're gonna post to set that's been approved by the town board.
So salary was approved by town board through resolution, and the original conversations were that we were not going to alter the salary based on what was approved for this year. So give me 1 second, let me get to that resolution.
That's a good point.
So right now, we got Mark, and then you're thinking of going out and advertise. Does Mark qualify for all these here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he falls within the realm of what they're asking for.
So the approved wage for 2022 is $68,594.94. So I would suggest that then.
That would be the starting
That-
wage?
If you did a range, if you wanted to do a range, usually what we have done is 2,000 less with the max being the 68, so you would hire in between that. So if you did 66 to 68,594.
Depending on qualifications, I take it.
I guess my comment, I've sat and listened to some of the other comments, and we want the most qualified person we can get. and we want this, this, and this. Well, I can tell you, if you go to Wisconsin Rapids and look what a motor pump operator is making, it's making more than what that rate is for the chief. So when you turn this to the outside, look at what kind of applicants you're gonna get based on what the other salary ranges of entry-level people. I mean, you can look at what we pay for Wisconsin Rapids. Regular firefighters are making more than that chief wage. Granted, this is a volunteer department, but you're also asking for different qualifications that other volunteer departments don't have. I mean, you look at some of the other ones, Port Edwards, where the chief's elected by the members, you're asking for something different here. And I just think that where that's at is probably light for the current time frame based on your qualifications. I mean, if you look at what the other department heads here get, that's not in line with.
Then we would have to go to the board again and ask for an increase, right?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right from the get-go, and if you post it at 68,000, you're gonna get a lot of those qualified people that you're looking for that aren't gonna turn their stuff in if you're gonna go external, cause they're gonna say it's an underpaid position.
I honestly don't think that what we're looking for is somebody to leave a position that, of course, being paid more. I mean, let's face it, we're probably more in line with somebody that's retiring out of full-time firefighting
And I think that's what happened to us last time, was that we advertised and we had several applications from people that lived down in Illinois that maybe had a house up here, and they were thinking about retiring, and but when they found out it was a volunteer department, you know, that, you know, I don't really wanna do that, and, you know, you know, currently I can't do a full-time job because I live in Illinois, I only come up here on the weekends, whatever the case might be.
That's kinda where I'm going. Our last experience wasn't.
No, it wasn't real pleasurable, no. Well, Jamie, looks like you have something to say.
Well, I was looking for, I had checked a series of the wages when we first did this. And some of them, because it's a volunteer department, are a stipend, they're not an annual wage. The city of Ripon was 61,000, the city of Toma, was 86,000. I was trying to see what Grand Rapids was, but I know Grand Rapids was less than us because Grand Rapids was going to go through, to look at that position based on our wage, so we were more than the town of Grand Rapids, just north of us.
Okay.
I guess if we're gonna go through a wage piece, then I would look for what specific communities do you feel are comparable that we could ask, so we wouldn't get to the position where we'd say, yeah, but we're not really like them. So the police department has 7 or 8 municipalities that we check on a regular basis that we feel are comparable municipalities. What would be for fire our comparable municipalities?
Bob, can you hear everything?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right, the last time we met, I think was on the 11th or whatever it was of April. Excuse me. Jason had brought up the fact that, maybe it's better to look inside the department to promote from within. You're probably going to, you know, maintain whatever morale you have in the department because you're not hiring somebody from the outside. I know that you two, I believe, Greg and Pat, you two had some feelings as to what your thoughts are about that. Do you want to go there and put it out?
The town board has made up what they want for qualifications.
Correct.
If it so comes to be that we're hiring from within because, you know, whether we don't get applicants or whether we do and they aren't as qualified, then, you know, I'm not arguing this. This is what the town board has put forth, and I'm fine to agree. I think that, you know, at some point, you never know what in the world's gonna happen unless you post. And if we post, we may not get anybody. you know, that's why I had absolutely no qualms about having an interim chief. And I didn't care how long it was gonna be. So, I don't know, I would like to find out whether there's anybody out there, but, you know,
Pat?
Well, I went through the, you know, we did that, we did the manual and went all through that. You gotta qualify to be as a fire chief, and I read that, same as this. And the way I feel, it's important to have, I used to run a line crew with a bunch of linemen. And you got so many personalities. You want a happy place to work, is what I'm saying. And Mark's qualified. This job could be filled, you know, by a vote or whatever, or we're gonna go all summer, most of the summer, and get people to respond to qualify for the job. And then we might end up back where we're at. I feel coming from within is good.
Okay. Bob, do you have anything you wanna bring forward?
Yeah, I think that, what Pat is saying, that as long as we feel that Mark is qualified, he meets the requirements that the town wants, and then I agree, let's promote from within.
Okay. At the last meeting, we had talked, or I had asked Mark the question about whether or not, he could qualify for the position within that 2-year period by having the emergency management services, 2-year program done. He said he could do that online, and that he would still be able to complete his 40 hours of in-house duties as described in the job description by the town board. I also feel, based on my former life, that a promotion from within is probably the right way to go. Like Greg said, if we do advertise this, we don't know what we're gonna get, if anything. We know what we have in-house right now. I don't think there's been any complaints about Mark's performance, either by the town board, by the police and fire commission, or by anybody in the town. So, I guess I'm of the opinion that we should promote Mark Kane to the fire chief's position. That's my 2 cents.
I got a question for the new volunteers that we get for firefighting. Is that increased or gone down since you've been here?
We have increased by approximately 9 people since last July when I took over.
Okay.
We were at a really low spot at that point, and out of those 9 that we've added in, we'll probably be able to retain 7.
Okay, which I think is good. I mean,
well, I'm not gonna argue. We got, this is the way the board works. And if that's the feeling that you wanna hire from within, then that's what we're gonna do. I don't know, the only person that we're missing is Vito, right?
Right.
Okay, we've got 3 votes that you're gonna hire from within, so.
I forgot what I was gonna say now, but, yeah, the job description, apparently is, Mark's capable of meeting that job description, other than the emergency services, or, I forget what it's called, Mark.
Associate's degree in emergency services management.
And how, if you are promoted to the position of fire chief, how do you accomplish that?
Midstate Technical College has an online program that fulfills all the requirements to obtain that degree.
And if you take it online, is that something that you could complete in less time than 2 years, being that's an online program, or do you have to go the whole 2 years to get that
It's self-paced. It's designed as 2 years, but you work at your own pace. And historically, if you stick to a program like that, you're able to finish ahead of schedule.
Okay.
You wouldn't exceed the 2 year.
Correct.
That was the decision of the committee today. I just, we still would have to draft an offer letter and have it be extended and accepted, and if there was anything else that was gonna be included in that offer letter, those items would still need to be worked out if that was the means in which the committee was going.
Is the salary range that you had spoken about where Mark is at, or is he above or below that, or?
Mark is at that salary range.
Okay.
Personally, I can't see any reason in giving a range then. You know, I wouldn't want to offer him less than what he's making.
No, I think the options here would be, do you do a recruitment or are you extending an offer? And if you're extending an offer, then I would just want I would want the committee, it wouldn't be me, I would want the committee to put that in writing to say we've extended an offer and it starts on this date, just a formal recognition that that is what's being put forth.
So we could make a motion to take a vote to hire Mark as a fire chief? Is
I
that
think
the
your
process?
motion would be saying that you're foregoing doing recruitment because you feel you have an internal candidate that you would promote to that full-time position.
Okay, and that's the motion I'll make, to hire within, to make that a full-time position for Mark,
At current salary
at
range,
current salary.
with a starting date of,
First of the month,
Like immediately, right?
immediately, yeah.
Amy, doesn't the town board, I know when I got promoted, there wasn't a date set, that basically said when the town board, because these guys promoted me, but I had to go through some town board meetings to come up with exactly what you said, the employment agreement, before I took the spot, cause these guys they did exactly what you said we make a motion to promote Jason to police chief, but the rest was done
The salary
by
and
the
everything
board.
else was done
salary
by the
done
town
in
board.
closed session with the board after the fact, so that date, they couldn't have listed a date because it was dependent on when I retained my interim position until I had a satisfactory agreement with the board to start. Or accepted it, I could have said, no, I just
Right.
wanna stay where I'm at. They drafted me, if I remember correct, an offer that said, we've promoted you, notify us in writing if you accept by whatever.
I think I seen in the manual, there's a letter that he signs and accept it, that's what you're talking about?
yes, and it wouldn't, the town board doesn't need to, accept the appointment, but what Chief is saying is accept the pieces that go around that.
Yep.
So, wage, benefits, I would assume the letter would also indicate what is 2 years from the date of start to ensure that we know that requirements are met. That it just would all be put into writing and be accepted by,
Is there any employment agreement now with the interim chief?
there are only, two employment agreements in the town, and this position is not one, no.
Will there be?
There
When?
hasn't been one in the past.
Okay.
But there has been a formal letter in acceptance.
Okay, is that employment agreement something that the town board would be considering? If you've already got employment agreements for some other department heads?
It hasn't been discussed with this position. I guess we can ask that question, but
I'm just curious, so that, we kind of know ahead of time what, they might be thinking. And if Mark is selected, it kind of gives him an idea as to what's gonna be happening too. I know that you two can have regular conversations, if he is chosen, just because of your work environment here.
it hasn't been a conversation, but it hasn't also been a specific question that's been asked either.
Okay. All right, we have a motion on the floor to accept Mark Kane as the Town of Rome Fire Chief with the conditions of he completes the associate degree within 2 years, that he is at the salary range that he's currently at. And I don't know, am I missing anything?
You could put in any other, benefit or policy items to be determined by the town board.
Okay,
With this,
why don't you
I would
second
rather-
it first for
Okay.
discussion,
I'll second.
okay?
And with this as a motion, aren't we, is this a motion that we're gonna hire from within rather than going out?
You would,
Yes.
yes.
That's
it'd be
how it would be stated?
A promotion from within, yes.
Okay. Because that's the way I would like to have it said, okay?
Hire within.
Rather than go out.
Yep.
Bob, anything else from you?
No, I'm agreeing with what's going on.
Okay, well then we have a motion on the floor and a second to appoint interim fire chief Mark Kane to the position of full-time fire chief for the town of Rome. Any other discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye. Aye.
Hey,
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried. I think, congratulations then are in order, chief. So then, Jamie, I guess we'll leave it up to you then. No, what I'm saying is to bring it forth to the town board for the surrounding issues that need to be addressed as part of the promotion to fire chief.
Yep, we will, and then we'll issue a formal letter with a
Okay.
formal date, which would set the timeline for the 2 years.
I'm assuming then that that does not have to come back to the Police and Fire Commission for any kind of approval.
This
That's,
would be a report, just
Okay.
to close that
All right.
communication loop.
anything else that anybody wants to bring forward regarding this issue?
Okay, I'm putting this down, motion to hire from within rather than advertise outside, and what else? I know that there's gotta be
The-
more.
The salary position is, he stays at his current salary position. And that he completes the 2-year associate program for, what is it, emergency
Emergency Services Management.
Emergency Services Management within that 2-year period.
You could simplify that to just,
EMS,
no, that-
ESM,
that he would complete associate's degree, cause it wouldn't have to be in emergency services management, it could also be in fire science. So it would complete associate's degree within 2 years.
Okay, motion to hire from within rather than advertise outside. The salary posted to stay the same and completion of associate 2-year degree. Anything else?
I think the rest basically is gonna fall on the, if there's any other things that the town board needs to.
Okay. And it was Baker and
I
Beck?
thought it-
Pat made the motion. You seconded it actually
oh, yes,
for discussion,
right. Now I remember.
and
Alright.
it was a unanimous vote.
No, it was, oh, I was a nay.
You were an A? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. Okay.
So we would do a roll call vote, wouldn't we?
Yes.
You already
We've already voted on it,
took the vote.
Yeah.
but it'll be 3-1. Okay. Okay, now, the next question I have is, and let's just finish the agenda first, and then I'll ask my question. So, we're gonna move on to then item number 9, which are next agenda items, based on that this is a kind of a special meeting that we called for. I think the next agenda items, basically, Greg, are everything that you always put on. You could put down, boat patrol hiring, because Jason's been had some interviews. Staffing levels. Anything else that anybody needs to see on the agenda for our next meeting? And if anything comes up, you can get a hold of me or Greg to discuss whatever issues you want to see put on the agenda. All right, for our next meeting date and time then, item number 10 on the agenda. We have the town board did, when have the announcements been made as to who's been the committee appointments?
No,
Okay, when will that happen?
the 5th, at the meeting on the 5th.
The 5th of May? Okay, well then I would guess, how about, we meet on May 9th, but I would like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. May 9th is the second Monday in May.
That's, I don't think I can make that. Is that Mother's Day?
Mother's Day is May 8th.
It's the 8th. Well, even if I can't, you'll have enough members, so we'll go ahead and do it the 9th, and I'll check, but I think that
Okay.
I'm not gonna be available.
All right, just let me know. Be May 9th then at 4 o'clock right here?
That would be directly after 14 Mile. I know sometimes 14 Mile goes a little bit long.
Yeah, well, we've had them in front of us before, and typically it's worked out, so,
Yeah, just wanted to point it out. So someone's in the room when you arrive.
okay. May 9th, 4 o'clock right here. Any other discussion on anything? Hearing then, is there a motion to adjourn?
Pat, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Pat, second by Greg to adjourn. Any other discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We'd be adjourned at 8:34 a.m.